Hi guys, Andy from Vivid Ink Tattoo Studios, and today I want to talk to you about laser tattoo removal. So laser removal is one of our key services we offer at Vivid Ink. Many people come to us for lightening a previous tattoo for a cover-up or wanting to completely get rid of a tattoo, and we get loads of questions about this, so I'm making this video to give you guys some ideas of the process and what you can expect. So laser removal has become increasingly popular over the last 5+ years, and this is because the technology in this field has advanced rapidly. In addition, many more people now understand how artistic and creative tattoos can be, and how does this affect it? Well, a lot of people who maybe had tattoos completed in, I don't know, say the 80s or the early 90s, when the technology and skill itself weren't so high, and now looking at their ink and comparing it to what our guys can do today, and are thinking, I really want some of that kind of work instead. In addition, it's become much more easily accessible and the results so much better. People who maybe only ever stepped foot into a tattoo studio once and they're left with a piece that they didn't like or they fell out of love with, and now re-entering with the goal to get rid of that piece altogether, back to fresh skin. Either way, if you're looking for lightening a tattoo to open up your options for a cover-up or complete removal, we offer both services at Vivid Ink, so you're in safe hands. Now, onto the process itself. Okay, so a quick bit of background. Tattoos are tiny needles implanting ink into the dermis layer of skin, which is beneath the outer layer of skin, which is the epidermis layer. Now, only the outer layer regenerates new skin, so the dermis layer continues to hold the tattoo, which is why tattoos are permanent. Now, what a laser machine does is send high levels of energy into the tattoo pigment in an attempt to break up the ink into smaller parts. These smaller particles absorb the heat generated from the laser, and that forces them to shatter into smaller pieces. And in the days and weeks following the session, those smaller particles which have been broken up are processed by the white blood cells, which are part of your body's natural healing mechanism. They get passed through the lymph system, processed in the liver, and eventually flushed out of the system altogether, meaning the tattoo is now a little bit lighter. Now, this causes some of the ink to disperse, but it doesn't get rid of the whole piece, which is why multiple sessions are needed to continue to break up the remaining ink and why it fades down gradually. The unfortunate part is laser removal, unlike tattooing where we pretty much know the exact way your body's going to react and heal, it really does depend with laser removal. There are so many variables, including how deep the original tattoo went, how old it is, what ink was used, and essentially how effective your body is at flushing the broken particles out. Plus there's a whole host of other variables, and that's why it's really hard to say exactly how many sessions a tattoo will take to remove. And it's going to be much easier to give you an idea once we've completed a session and we see how your body responds. Okay, so that should give you an idea of how the process itself works. Now let me answer some frequently asked questions on laser removal. How often can you have a session? Now, the body's healing mechanism is somewhere around 6 to 8 weeks. This is to give the body time for the ink to break down and the flushing to happen, but also to make sure that the top layer of skin doesn't get damaged at all. Does it cause scarring? The only way it can cause scarring is by completing the sessions too regularly or using too much power on the laser machine and causing damage to the skin. This should be incredibly rare because anybody who's operating a laser machine should really know what they're doing. One thing to note is that if the tattoo was scarred at the time during the tattoo process, which can happen, especially if the original artist went too deep, well then, when you remove the ink from that area, it will expose the scar that was caused by the tattoo. So it can look like the laser caused it, but in reality, the laser only really uncovered the scar. Does it cause skin pigmentation on darker skin tones? Now, this is a bit of a tough one, and there are some examples of the laser not being able to differentiate between tattoo pigment and skin pigment. But as with everything in laser, it isn't an exact science. So it could or could not happen, but you should be able to spot this during the process. How painful is it? Well, that varies between individuals and pain tolerances. You know, some people say it's similar to snapping an elastic band against you. Some people say it's worse than tattooing. Some people say it's better than tattooing. The one key thing is, however, it's much quicker than tattooing. So what would maybe take 2 hours to complete as a tattoo, you could probably remove that in 10 minutes. How long after laser until I can cover the tattoo? So we would advise 6 to 8 weeks post-laser removal to the tattoo appointment. This just gives your body adequate time to heal and make sure the area will take the tattoo well and not cause any damage to the skin. If it's been really heavy laser sessions, maybe, you know, a really big piece or loads of colors, it might be slightly longer, but your artist will be the best person to advise you on this. How many sessions for full removal, and is full removal always possible? Unfortunately, for all the reasons I spoke about earlier, it's really hard to guarantee full removal. This is because if your body decides it no longer wants to respond to the treatment, or for example, if the ink is too deep for the laser to hit it without doing serious damage to the skin, there's potential that there could be small fragments of the original tattoo remaining. But traditionally, as a guide, it can take somewhere in the region of 6 to 10 sessions for full removal. How many sessions do I need for a cover-up? Okay, you might feel a theme here coming. It all depends again. Traditionally, we would hope somewhere in the region of 3 to 5 sessions to break it down enough to be able to get a non-compromised cover-up. Now, what do I mean by non-compromised? I mean, it may be coverable without laser, but the design would have to be functional over aesthetic, meaning it's not the greatest looking tattoo, but it does work as a cover-up. And with a few laser sessions, the design could be more aesthetic than functional. Hopefully that makes sense. So there you go, there's some ideas of laser removal, how it works, what you can expect, and a few frequently asked questions. If you do happen to have any other questions outside of those, please feel free to drop us a comment and we'll get back to you with our answers. Anyway, I hope you found that useful. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you soon.